Can you be charged with a crime for that wallet you just found outside in the parking lot, or maybe it's a cell phone, a $100 bill? Isn't it finders keepers? Not exactly. In Illinois, there's something called theft of lost or mislaid property, and it's something that a lot of people don't know about. And so on today's edition of This is the Law in Illinois, I'm going to take a few moments to explain to you a little bit about this law. Hi, thank you. I'm attorney Anisa Jordan, and again, thank you for joining me on this episode of This is the Law in Illinois. Now, there are three things that can get you charged with theft of lost or mislaid property in Illinois. Number one, if you can reasonably find out who the item belongs to, or you actually do find out who the item belongs to, and you don't make any reasonable efforts to get the item, the property, whatever it is, back to the owner. And number three, you intend to keep the property for yourself, not giving it back to the owner, you could be charged with theft of lost or mislaid property. So now that we have the three key elements, let's use an example. One day you're walking outside of the Walmart into the parking lot and you find a wallet, and it's a Gucci wallet. It's a really nice wallet. It has a $100 bill in it. It also has a state identification that we presumably would assume that it has an address and a picture of the photo of the person that the wallet belongs to. And let's say there's even a business card that also has an address in it. But you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to take that $100 bill that I found in this wallet, take my kids out for lunch or dinner, and this wallet's a pretty nice wallet. I'm going to keep it for myself. Could you be charged with theft of lost or mislaid property at that point? It's possible. Let's think about what we just talked about, the three elements that could get you charged. Number one, we talked about, well, is there a reasonable way for you to find out who the owner is? Well, sure. There's a driver's license inside of the wallet. There's a business card. Presumably there are numbers and addresses that you could try to contact. Number two, you could make some kind of effort to get it back to the person. So maybe you go back into the Walmart store and tell them, hey, you know what, look, I found this lost wallet. Or maybe you look their names up on the internet and see if you can make contact with them some way. And third, you certainly have decided that you're keeping the wallet for yourself and the money because you started using the wallet for your own uses and you spent the $100 bill on your family or friends or yourself. So it could be argued at that point that you're not intending to give that back to the owner. Now, the penalties for this charge are kind of stiff here in Illinois. If the property is valued at less than $500, it's what's called a Class B misdemeanor in Illinois, which means that it's jailable up to 6 months in jail. Then the next level, $500 up to $9,999, means it's a Class A misdemeanor, which means it's jailable up to 364 days in jail. And then finally, the most serious is if the item is $10,000 or more, you're looking at a felony, a Class 4 felony, which means the maximum incarceration or jail time for that is 1 to 3 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. So as you can see, it just may not be worth it to get that $100 bill or start using that Gucci wallet or whatever it may be. In the past, this was called a petty offense, which means it wasn't jailable. But the legislature changed the law, and I think that was because people were losing things like cell phones, and as you know, cell phones can be very expensive. So if you find yourself or a friend who is in this position or find themselves charged with this, it's very important to contact an attorney to see if there are any defenses that you may have available to you and to look to see if all those things were really met in this situation or your situation. I will also be posting a blog about this that will go in a little more detail about this law. I know no one wants to look at a long video or lecture, but if you want to get a little more information, I will link to this video the blog where I talk a little more about what this law is and discuss things such as, well, what is considered lost property, or what is considered mislaid property. So again, thank you for joining me. I'm attorney Anisa Jordan, and this is the law in Illinois. Have a great day.